Hello guys, welcome back to my channel. This turtleneck winter spring cardigan is our tutorial. I will be using these two yarns. It's Tanya yarn. It's 100 grams, 100% acrylic, and a 6mm hook. Take your measurements to make sure you have the correct size. I'm going to take my shoulder to shoulder measurements, which is 50 centimeter. Get your hook and then make a loop. So I want my cardigan really thick because it's really cold here in Sweden, and I decided to double my yarn. If you don't double, I would recommend you use a chunky yarn or thick yarn, but I do prefer when I double the yarn. So I'm going to make a chain long enough to fit my 50 centimeters. My chain is ready. I'm going to now chain one. We are going to work a single crochet, skip the first loop into the second, pull through and pull through two. That's how you work a single crochet. Work a single crochet along the entire chain. I am at the end of the row. One loop left. This is how it looks. Now you are going to chain one, turn your work after the last loop, and then we are going to work with the back loops like that. Pull through a single crochet, go into your back loops, pull through, that's how it looks. I am at the end of row 2. One more loop. Like that. Chain one, turn your work, enter into the very first loop, and you're going to continue working this until you have a total of 20 to 21 depending on what you want. I'm going to do 20 rows, and then I'll meet you on the next piece. My 20 rows are ready. You can see. Beautiful. And I'm going to work on this part. I already worked this off camera. So we are going to add 21 rows. So chain 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21. So we are attaching our turtleneck to avoid the hole, making it separately and attaching it later. So you are going to just continue working your piece. So chain one, skip the first loop, go into the next, pull through, make a single crochet, and then work a single crochet and continue like how you've been working using the back loops. So this is it. Continue working from the back loops. This saves us time with creating the turtleneck later on. How about we just work direct on the piece? So with the turtleneck, I added extra rows. Before the turtle, it was 20 rows. After the turtle, you can see it's roughly 22 to 24 rows to just make sure we have space for our heads. After the turtle, you are going to chain 1, turn your work, and then continue the 20 rows like we were doing earlier. As you can see, I attached a stitch marker not to go way beyond the measurement. So when I reach the stitch mark, I chain 1, turn my work, and continue working. Using the back loops, you can see the stitch looks absolutely beautiful. So I'm going to fast forward. I'll meet you when I have 2 pieces of these measurements made. I have 2 pieces made. This one I mixed the color just to make a change and to save on the yarn. I don't think I have that much yarn. This is the Christmas season, so most yarns are not in the stores, but it's the same measurements. I didn't show you the colored part because it should be your choice to mix the color or not mix the color. Now we are going to stitch these parts together in this. So get your tapestry needle. You can use a slip stitch if you want, but my piece is thick. I feel like it's a bit heavier for me. I prefer to go with the tapestry needle. I did stitch one side offline, so I'm going to show you this other side. You are going to enter loop to loop with your tapestry needle. I hope it's clear enough. And keep doing the same thing until all the part needing stitching is finished. With this part, you're going to use row to row to make sure you have the rows equally stitched together. And we are done with putting our turtle together. And that's it. I'm just making sure I have it firmly stitched and then cut off the yarn. So I could rock it like this. It's beautiful. Now that our turtle is ready, we are going to do arm separation. So I have put my stitch marker. You can still use the tapestry needle to separate, or you can also use a single crochet or a slip stitch. So I will go with the tapestry needle so I can show you. And we are coming to the end. I will do the other part off camera. So I could rock this anytime, any day. Get your yarn. It's the same yarn, Tanya yarn, 100% acrylic. We are going to now work on the sleeves. I already have them created. So make a loop. I like to work from the underarm. Go into the underarm, enter through the loop, and pull through the loop you have created. And for my sleeves, I'm going to chain 61. You can make it longer, you can make it shorter. I don't want to limit you on your choices. My chain is ready. Then you're going to chain 1, skip the first loop, into the second, pull through and make a single crochet. Work a single crochet along the entire chain. I'm going to meet you when I'm approaching the underarm. I am getting to the underarm. I need you to focus because it's where the magic happens. One more loop. And you are going to the next loop. You see? Into that next loop. And slip stitch like that. And then you are going into the next loop, pull through. That's going to be our next row. Then turn your work. Then you're going to start from the very first loop, and still you're not going to use the back loops this time around. You're going to just work a normal from the front loop like that, pull through, and then work a single crochet along the entire row. This time we are not using the back loops, we are entering through the front. I'm getting to the end of my row 2 of my sleeve. Now this looks different because we're not using the back loops. Chain 1, turn your work, start from the very first loop, make a single crochet, and then continue along the entire row. I have reached again at the end of the row. You're going to slip stitch in the next loop, this loop, to attach like that. If you want, you can make the sleeve off and then slip stitch it on the piece. Then go into the next loop with a single with a slip stitch. Then turn your work. This is how we are going to keep making the rows until the entire sleeve is ready. So I'm going to fast forward. I'll meet you when I've attached both my sleeves. I am done. It actually looks beautiful and neat when you work straight from the piece. So we are now going to slip stitch this, or you can use a tapestry needle. And I'm going to fasten my video because I've already showed you how to attach the pieces together. This time I'll use a slip stitch. I don't know why I put my tapestry needle. This is how it looks. Absolutely beautiful. So I'm going to show up when I have both my sleeves fixed. Thank you so much for your patience and your support in loving my videos. I appreciate you so much than you know. Thank you so much for your support. Give this video a thumbs up, and if you're not subscribed, subscribe. Bye bye.